Okay, so welcome to Piiroinen stand. We have a special program here. I'm Timo Kaivonen, business director from Piiroinen. I'm responsible of design furniture, auditoriums, and life cycle services. And I'm pleased to have here Wickie.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here, Timo. So I'm Wickie Meier Engström, and I am the director and founder of Kvadrat Really, which is an upcycled textile plate board material that are used exactly over here by you. I'm very pleased to be here. Super interesting collaboration. So thank you much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. So our purpose here today is talk about sustainability and how it is important. But I feel that it's not only important, it's like a necessary for all of us to create a better future. And considering our company, your company, an overall company's role, I feel that companies are in a way in key position leading change towards sustainability. Companies have resources existing, they can acquire new ones, they have technologies existing, they can learn, acquire new technologies. They have a cumulative way, know-how from their own industry. So I feel companies' role is very important. They are in key position. How do you feel?
I totally agree, and I think it's as a company you should have a very clear strategy around sustainability that also really emphasize and points out where are your company playing when it comes to sustainability and where are you not playing, because you could say that's the core of a strategy. Yeah. You choose something, but there's also other things you choose not to engage in. So I think being on that path, I'm totally agreeing there's no other way than the sustainable way, but I think we also need to understand that it is a progression. We are not there yet. We are taking steps every day. I see also on this fair, more and more are embedding sustainability not only as green plants on the fair stand, but actually in regular materials that has an impact, has a whole new narrative. And I think that's also what Kvadrat really stands for, is really that every product has to be an action towards a more sustainable future.
Yeah, and I feel that here comes the point of material, indeed. So with materials, new solutions, we all can make a difference. And considering materials, for example, from Piiroinen perspective, even we have a lot of material experience so far. It is also important to have a new ideas, new cooperations, like here.
Yeah.
You and me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna interrupt you, Timo. I'm like that all the time. So anyway, I think material is really key to a sustainable agenda. I mean, being part of Kvadrat, who works with material as well. In this case, it's textiles that has to go on furniture or in rooms as curtains or as rugs or whatever. It's important to understand the impact of materials. So usually you say the equation is 99% of a product's impact is by the choice of the material you choose. And also, of course, the design you actually apply to the material. So a material means a lot. And that's also why we started out in Kvadrat Really with looking at what about, instead of always looking at virgin materials, what about all the waste streams that are out there? And due to the fact that I come from a textile-based background, textile was obvious to take a deeper look at. And there's a lot of textile waste out there. And again, we need to utilize these waste fractions into new valuable product. And that became the core of Kvadrat Really. And then, of course, it's not only enough to utilize the waste once. You also have to reckon that a product at the end of the day will also be a waste stream. So a tabletop or an acoustic felt will also be a waste stream at a certain point. So we decided a 100% circular solution as our offer to the market. But we only do materials, and materials go nowhere if there's not also added design, right? So for us, it's so important to create these collaboration with furniture industry, because you have access to the market where more people can buy the products that actually has an action, a sustainable action embedded. So we need the good design, and you need the good material.
Yeah, indeed. And one example, I think it's a very same thing. You talk about waste materials, side streams. We have this. Actually, it's over there. Our seat for Helsinki Olympic Stadium. It's a very new material when we developed it, and it's a wood composite. New wood composite made with this project, and we are using a side stream of Finnish wood manufacturer. So that is the base, and it's like we developed new wood component composite material with warm. It's warm when you touch it bare hand. It's easy to repair, easy to maintain if needed. It's design-wise. The design came from architect. So one example how to create new material, how to respond to the designer, and in the end the customer gets what they want.
So when I'm listening into what you're saying, Timo, I'm also thinking it's a little bit about having materials that are sustainable but also convenient and living up to, you could say, the criteria of the market. It can't be too complicated. It might be different, but it can't be too complicated. And I think that's another side of the Kvadrat strategy, is that of course we need the new conscious products. That's one thing, but we also need to collaborate to get onto a market, onto knowledge, onto doing even better. And we definitely also need to have our facts in place. So to be compliant with EPDs and LCAs, and understanding that you can build a material on a waste stream, but it also has to have a low impact. It's not enough that it's just a waste stream. It needs to have low emission, it needs to have low use of virgin resources, such as water, for example, is also super important. It's also maybe to be more reluctant to use a lot of dye stuff, a lot of chemicals. So all these are also parameters that you need to think about when you develop something that is more sustainable. And we are lucky to have the strategy that also keeps us aligned with the low impact, because actually our tabletop impact is like a fifth of a normal tabletop, both due to we use a lot of waste, but also due to a sustainable energy grid. So a lot of these, I mean, sustainability is so many different factors, parameters that you need to hit in on to actually be truly sustainable.
Yeah, exactly. And when we started our cooperation, and I noticed your you told me about how you are making this product tabletops. For example, you are not using water at the production at all. So I feel it fits those targets in one way. How we are also want to develop our furnitures, and it's not always that we have to make all things ourselves. Even we are making many things in our versatile manufacturing, but I feel that great example how to combine both companies' know-how.
Agreed. And I think you cannot do everything by yourself. It's like climbing a mountain, right? You need somebody to help you out. And I think that's also when I speak about sustainability and people are maybe a little bit giving up hope and saying, okay, so what can I do? I'm just a designer or I'm just this and that. I'm saying we can all contribute to this journey that we are on. And I think being aware that it's not only about carbon emission, it's also about water, it's also about waste, it's also about no chemicals. There's a lot of things that we are getting more and more aware of, and it takes all of us to create the movement.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we see if there's any question?
Yeah. Do you have any questions from the audience?
Hi. Really nice to hear your thoughts. What do you think is the most important thing that you have done for the sustainability? Most important thing?
I think for us, it's really about creating a material from a waste stream that can be ramped up on an industrial scale. I think that is, for me, it has been the hardest road to walk, but it's also the most important because the problems that we are facing are of a dimension that are so big, and the market is also big. So if we can create a product that can serve a big market, it will also, from every product we sell, it will minimize the, you could say, the problem. So, yeah, that's pretty much. And
from our perspective, I can see two aspects. First, since we are a manufacturer, there are many things we are doing in our factory which are not seen, for example, here in our products. So since we are making metal parts, we are having metal surface treatments. We are making wooden parts. So, for example, we are using only 3 valued chrome in our chroming processes. We are having a bioheating system to get avoid from oil, for example. Those kind of things in factory level. Then, considering products, I already spoke briefly about Olympic Stadium seat. It's a new wood composite using side streams. Then we are having like brand new chairs here. We are actually sitting on it. So carry chair using PET felt, recyclable PET felt, and these kind of things. So something is in factory, there are high investments, and then products.
Yeah, and it has to be aligned. I mean, it's like you need to be able to clean your room before you begin to clean the world, right? So it's and also sending a very. I think this is also what we experience in Kvadrat, that the mandating our employees, mandating sales forces, giving them a deeper understanding of how we want to work with sustainability, that it's also not only products, it's also showrooms, it's factories, it's our car fleet park. It's, we all need to consider changing a bit what we have done so far. And I think at the end of the day, that is what we have in scope, that it is a bigger change. It's a system change, and maybe in 10 years we are selling products in different ways. We are not selling it anymore, products anymore. We are leasing products. We are selling reused products. We don't know. I think there's so many interesting ways this agenda goes. But what is key to everybody is that you need to stay very much in contact with your customers and your partners, because you need to have the loyalty, and you get loyalty by becoming more sustainable. So that's really also the exchange that happens now, and that exchange becomes stronger and stronger as I see it.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. And if it would be the case that you would only speak about sustainability, but you wouldn't really make those efforts, and many times big investments, large amounts of money. So customers, your partners, so on, they can see it. They can see it through to you. So you have to make real things. And also I would like to emphasize the mentality, like you said, it is all our business to get more sustainable. But the mentality should be also that you constantly looking new ideas, opportunities, and partners, like here. We had a long history with Kvadrat in fabrics, but now we are making also cooperation in this way. So I think it's a very good example.
So we are helping each other to become more sustainable.
Exactly.
And that's good. Thank you. Any questions? More questions? So I think maybe we could sum it down to just trying to make a little recap of what we have been saying. Definitely products talks. We need good products because that's also what we offer the market, right? But good products need to be defined by the facts of the good product. So it needs to be fact-driven, also in what kind of carbon emission footprint do you have, what kind of code of conduct do you have, maybe science-based targets, to be able to really be accountable. And then definitely partnership, because at one person, at one company, you can only go so far. Together we can go so much further.
Yeah, exactly. And well, maybe nothing to add anymore, but one thing maybe, considering we all are people here, so it's so important to engage in your company, in our company, people, to make that movement to the sustainability. So that's one aspect. It's not always so easy, but on the other hand, we all need all understand how important it is. So eventually, everyone shares the same goal.
Yeah. Thank you, Timo.